You ever notice how the thing that scares you the most isn't actually failing? It's that quiet, uncomfortable thought that whispers at 2 a.m. What if I don't become anyone? Yeah, that one. It hits harder than any fear of messing up because failing means you tried. But becoming no one? That feels like disappearing while you're still alive. And you're not crazy for feeling that. Your brain is basically a collection of survival alarms, identity alarms, and, oh God, is this my life alarms? It wants direction. It wants identity. It wants a story it can believe in. And when it doesn't have one, it panics. Ever have those moments where you look around and think, everyone else is moving forward, why am I still here? Yeah, that's your brain comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Classic brain move, very on brand. But let me tell you something important. You're not afraid to fail. You're afraid you'll never become the version of yourself you can feel somewhere in your chest, but haven't figured out how to reach yet. Let's slow down for a second. Imagine you try something and fail. Ouch, sure, embarrassing for like 5 minutes, but your brain learns something. It rewires. Failure gives it data. Data becomes clarity. Clarity becomes action. Action becomes progress. That's how the brain works. It's basically a little scientist wearing tiny goggles. But when you never try, your brain learns nothing. No data, no clarity, just static. And that static turns into anxiety, overthinking, procrastination, and those dramatic spirals where you stare at the ceiling questioning your entire existence. Fun. See, your brain hates the unknown. It will choose a predictable loop, scrolling, avoiding, doubting, overstepping into something new. Not because you're lazy, not because you're not good enough, but because your brain has a habit loop that goes unknown equals danger, avoidance equals relief, relief equals let's do that again. And with enough repetition, that becomes your identity. Not because it's who you are, but because it's what your brain has practiced. 5 seconds. That's all it takes to send your brain a new message. 5 seconds to breathe, to pause, to choose something different, something tiny, something small, something embarrassingly doable. That's how you break the loop. Look at your life like a computer with too many tabs open. School expectations, family pressure, comparison, unmade decisions, dreams you shelved 5 years ago, all running in the background. No wonder you feel frozen. Your brain is out here buffering like terrible hotel Wi-Fi. But here's the part you forget. You don't need a massive plan. You don't need to overhaul your whole personality. You don't need to find yourself by disappearing to Bali for 6 months. Unless you want to, in which case please take sunscreen. You just need to close one tab. Just one. Name the fear. Name the task. Name the thing you've been avoiding. When things have names, they stop being monsters. Your brain finally goes, oh, that. Okay, I can work with that. You're not afraid of failing. You're afraid you'll waste your potential. You're afraid you'll look back and think, I could have been so much more. You're afraid of living small when something in you knows you're meant for more. And let's be honest, you can feel it. That pull, that urge, that tiny spark that pops up at random times when you hear a quote or see someone doing what you want to do or watch a version of yourself in your mind that feels real, almost. That's not delusion. That's direction. Your brain is telling you, hey, this way. Let's try this way. But to become someone, you have to give your brain evidence, small wins, tiny reps, micro actions that tell your mind, we're not stuck, we're moving. Write one sentence, send one email, record one messy clip, learn one small thing, take one imperfect step. Your brain loves small steps. They make it release dopamine, that keep going chemical. Not when you accomplish something huge, but when you start. That's why motivation doesn't show up before action. It shows up after. Let me give you a scenario. Two people want to change their life. Person A waits until they feel ready. Person B does one tiny thing today. Guess who becomes someone? The one who started. That's it. That's the whole difference. Becoming anyone isn't about being special or talented or chosen. It's about being in motion. Because here's the truth. You're already becoming someone. Every habit, every choice, every thought you practice is shaping your identity. Your brain is wiring itself around the things you do repeatedly. Repeat avoidance, your brain becomes really good at avoiding. Repeat small wins, your brain becomes someone who takes action. Repeat calm, your brain becomes someone who can handle pressure. Repeat clarity, your brain stops spiraling and starts solving. You get to choose which identity you practice. Not tomorrow, not next month, now. Imagine waking up one day and realizing you've quietly, slowly, steadily become the kind of person you used to look up to. Imagine your future self looking back at you and saying, "Thank you for starting when everything felt blurry." Imagine the weight lifting off your chest because you finally stopped running from that fear of becoming nobody and started becoming someone real, someone growing, someone trying, someone in motion. Close your eyes for a second. Picture the version of you who isn't scared anymore, the one who takes small steps, the one who chooses direction over perfection, the one who trusts they're becoming someone, even if it's slow, even if it's messy. Feel that? That spark? That's you. You're not afraid to fail. You're afraid you won't become anyone. So start small. Start imperfect. Start now. Your future self is waiting, and they're proud already.